The Blood Moon's Curse. In the year 1500, a small village nestled deep within the heart of Transylvania was cursed by an ancient evil that would forever haunt its inhabitants. The village of Ravensthorpe, surrounded by dense forests and shrouded in mystery, had unknowingly become the hunting ground for a clan of fearsome vampires. As the moon rose high above the towering trees one fateful night, a blood-red glow pierced the darkness, casting an eerie atmosphere upon the village. The villagers trembled in their homes, unaware of the nightmare that awaited them. Silently, the vampires emerged from their hidden lairs, their eyes blazing crimson with an insatiable thirst for blood. First, the vampire lord, known as Count Vesperus, stalked the land with his menacing presence. Tall and pale, he possessed an aristocratic air that belied his sinister intentions. His fangs were sharp and deadly, his charm irresistible, and his powers unmatched. With every passing night, Count Vesperus and his minions grew bolder, descending upon the village like a swarm of nocturnal demons. One by one, the villagers fell victim to the insidious curse that plagued their home. Men, women, and children were found drained of life, their bloodless bodies a chilling testament to the horrors that lurked in the shadows. The streets of Ravensthorpe echoed with anguished cries, and the once vibrant village became a desolate place of despair. Desperation spread among the survivors as they barricaded themselves within their homes, whispering prayers in the hopes of divine protection. But the vampires, masters of deception, found ways to infiltrate their sanctuaries. They would tap on windows, their elongated fingers scratching against the glass, or call out to their prey with seductive whispers, luring them into their deadly embrace. The village elder, a wise but frail man named Marcus, sought a solution to save their tormented souls. He delved into ancient tomes and studied forbidden knowledge, hoping to find a way to break the curse that gripped Ravensthorpe. Through his research, Marcus learned of a prophecy that spoke of a sacred amulet hidden within the heart of the vampire lair. Legend had it that this amulet possessed the power to banish the vampires forever. With newfound hope, Marcus gathered a group of brave villagers, each filled with equal parts fear and determination. Armed with stakes, holy water, and crosses, they ventured into the heart of the vampire's lair, a decrepit castle perched atop a desolate hill. The castle's crumbling walls whispered tales of ancient horrors and echoed with the cries of countless souls. As the moon bathed the castle in a pale, ethereal light, the group pressed forward, navigating the labyrinthine halls with trepidation. They encountered throngs of bloodthirsty vampires, their eyes gleaming with malevolence as they lunged at the intruders. Battle cries mingled with the hisses of the undead, and the air was thick with the scent of blood and fear. After a grueling confrontation, the villagers reached the chamber where the amulet was rumored to be hidden. Protected by a powerful enchantment, it lay atop a pedestal, casting a soft, soothing glow. Marcus approached with caution, his trembling hand reaching out to claim the artifact. Suddenly, the room erupted in chaos. Count Vesperus, his eyes filled with fury, descended upon the group, his fangs bared and ready to strike. A fierce battle ensued, with the villagers fighting tooth and nail to protect their elder and secure the amulet. In the final moments of the battle, Marcus seized the amulet and held it aloft, channeling its ancient power. A blinding light burst forth, engulfing the room, and the vampires recoiled, weakened by the amulet's divine energy. One by one, they crumbled into dust, their reign of terror finally broken. The curse lifted, Ravensthorpe slowly began to heal from its nightmarish ordeal. The villagers, forever marked by the scars of their harrowing battle, carried on with their lives, remembering the horrors they had faced. They vowed never to forget the darkness that had consumed their home and to remain vigilant against the shadows that lurked beyond their village's borders. But the legend of Bloodman's curse would endure, a cautionary tale whispered from generation to generation, reminding them of the price they paid and the strength they found within themselves to confront the unspeakable evil that once plagued their land. The haunting shadows. In the year 1500, deep in the heart of a remote countryside, a forgotten manor stood ominously on the edge of a desolate moor. Known as Blackthorn Manor, it had long been rumored to be cursed, its walls echoing with the whispers of ancient evils. Only the bravest dared to venture near, but their tales were always shrouded in dread and fear. It was on a moonless night when a young scholar named Jonathan, driven by his insatiable thirst for knowledge, decided to unravel the mysteries that enshrouded Blackthorn Manor. Armed with a lantern and a heart filled with both curiosity and trepidation, he pushed open the creaking iron gates and stepped onto the shadowed path. The manor loomed before him, its silhouette dancing in the pale moonlight. Ivy tendrils snaked along its decaying walls, as if desperately clinging to its dying existence. Jonathan's steps faltered, but his determination propelled him forward. Entering the manor, Jonathan felt an icy chill creep up his spine, as if unseen eyes watched his every move. The air was thick with a suffocating silence, broken only by the distant scuttling of unseen creatures. The flickering lantern cast eerie shadows that danced along the peeling wallpaper. As Jonathan explored the desolate rooms, he stumbled upon a hidden passage concealed behind a tapestry. Pushing aside the moth-eaten fabric, he descended into a labyrinth of ancient corridors, their stone walls damp and oppressive. Whispers echoed in his ears, whispers of forgotten voices that spoke of unspeakable horrors. In one forsaken chamber, Jonathan discovered a dusty library filled with books whose covers bore cryptic symbols and long-forgotten languages. Drawn to a peculiar tome, he gingerly opened its pages, unleashing a maelstrom of malevolence. A cold wind gushed through the room, extinguishing Jonathan's lantern, plunging him into utter darkness. Panic consumed him as unseen forces tugged at his clothes, chilling breaths brushed against his face, and invisible hands clawed at his flesh. The very essence of the manor seemed to be alive, an entity of pure malevolence. With a surge of desperation, Jonathan managed to escape the haunted chamber, his heart pounding in his chest. He retraced his steps through the labyrinth, each corridor becoming a twisted maze of shifting shadows. But as he ran, he could not escape the sensation of being relentlessly pursued by an unseen presence, closing in with every frantic step. Emerging from the hidden passages, Jonathan found himself in a grand hall, its vastness swallowing his feeble cries for help. He stumbled upon a mural depicting a group of figures engaged in a sinister ritual, their eyes filled with unholy fervor. It dawned upon him that the curse that plagued Blackthorn Manor was tied to this very mural, a relic of dark sorcery that held the key to the manor's tortured past. Driven by a desperate resolve, Jonathan set out to undo the curse and free himself from the clutches of the haunting shadows. Armed with the knowledge he had gleaned from the forbidden tome, he embarked on a perilous journey to locate the hidden chamber where the ritual had taken place. Passing through room after room of torment and despair, Jonathan finally reached the chamber concealed deep within the bowels of the manor. Candles flickered, casting distorted shadows upon the walls adorned with macabre symbols. At the center, a desecrated altar bore the remnants of an ancient incantation. Summoning his courage, Jonathan recited the words of a counter-ritual, his voice trembling but resolute. The air crackled with malevolent energy, and the shadows writhed, sensing their impending defeat. The ancient curse fought back, lashing out with spectral tendrils, but Jonathan persisted, his determination unwavering. In a crescendo of chaos and desperation, the shadows surged, fighting against their impending banishment. The room quaked, its very foundation threatening to crumble. But with a final burst of strength, Jonathan completed the ritual, and an explosion of blinding light engulfed the chamber. When the light faded, Jonathan found himself standing amidst the ruins of Blackthorn Manor. The curse had been broken, and the haunting shadows had been vanquished. The manor stood as a crumbling testament to the terrors it had once housed. Jonathan left the shattered remnants of the manor, forever marked by the horrors he had faced. The legend of Blackthorn Manor would linger, a chilling reminder of the darkness that can consume even the most intrepid souls. And as he walked away, he couldn't help but wonder if the shadows he had confronted would forever haunt his dreams, lurking in the corners of his mind, waiting to be awakened once more. The Forgotten Crypts. Deep in the heart of a foreboding forest, shrouded in perpetual darkness, lay the forgotten crypts of Eldritch Hollow. It was said that those who dared enter would be consumed by the torments of the restless spirits that resided within. But for a group of thrill-seekers known as the Reckless Ones, tales of horror only fueled their insatiable desire for adrenaline. On a moonless night, their footsteps echoed through the dense woods as they ventured toward the crumbling entrance of the crypts. The air grew heavy with an eerie stillness, as if the forest itself held its breath in anticipation of the horrors to come. Each member of the Reckless Ones carried a lantern, flickering weakly against the encroaching darkness. As they descended into the depths of Eldritch Hollow, a chilling coldness settled in their bones. The winding tunnels were lined with ancient stone, moss-covered and weathered by time. Crypts lined the walls, their ominous inscriptions obscured by layers of dust and decay. Whispers echoed through the corridors, barely audible yet laden with an otherworldly malevolence. Shadows danced and writhed, distorting the flickering light of their lanterns. The Reckless Ones pressed forward, undeterred by the mounting unease that clung to the air like a suffocating fog. Deeper into the crypts they delved, their hearts pounding with a mixture of trepidation and excitement. But as they descended further, the atmosphere grew increasingly oppressive. The temperature dropped to bone-chilling depths, causing their breath to hang in icy clouds before dissipating into the void. Their footsteps reverberated through the silence, each echo amplifying their mounting fear. The crypts seemed to stretch infinitely, an unending labyrinth of forgotten souls. The Reckless Ones knew they had ventured too far, yet their reckless spirit refused to relinquish its grip. It was then, at the heart of Eldritch Hollow, that they stumbled upon a chamber unlike any other. Carved symbols adorned the walls, pulsating with a sickly green glow. The air crackled with an unseen energy, filling the chamber with a palpable malevolence. A single sarcophagus stood at the center, its lid adorned with intricate carvings depicting unspeakable horrors. The Reckless Ones, driven by morbid curiosity, dared to lift the lid, unveiling the resting place of an ancient and vengeful spirit. A piercing wail echoed through the chamber, chilling the blood of the adventurers. The vengeful spirit rose from its slumber, ethereal and wrathful. Its eyes glowed with an unholy fire, and a miasma of despair clung to its ethereal form. Fear gripped the Reckless Ones as the spirit unleashed its fury. Spectral tendrils lashed out, ensnaring them with a grip that felt as cold as death itself. One by one, they were tormented by their deepest fears, their minds assaulted by hallucinations and haunting visions. Julia, the brave leader of the reckless ones, fought against the suffocating grip of the spirit. With every ounce of strength, she resisted the onslaught, her willpower a flickering flame against the tempest of darkness. Through sheer determination, she summoned the fragments of her courage and reached for a relic hidden within her backpack, a talisman rumored to repel malevolent spirits. Clutching the talisman, Julia invoked its protective power, unleashing a radiant energy that banished the vengeful spirit back to its slumber. The chamber trembled, and the haunting whispers faded into silence. The reckless ones, battered and shaken, emerged from Eldritch Hollow, forever marked by the terrors they had faced. They had found a newfound respect for the forces that lurked beyond the realms of the living. The forgotten crypts of Eldritch Hollow would remain undisturbed, a chilling reminder of the price one pays for tempting the wrath of restless spirits. And as the reckless ones retreated into the night, they left behind the darkness that had consumed their souls, vowing to forever cherish the fragility of life and the unknown horrors that lie hidden in the depths of forgotten tombs.